Jim Collins, in his insightful book, Good to Great, starts out the book this way. The first thing great companies do is get the right people on the bus. Hiring the right person is such a big win for your organization. Great employees bring value to your company. They produce results and work well with others. Great employees are easy to manage, contribute to a positive work environment, and enhance your company's reputation. I call great employees accelerators. Why? Because they help your organization get to where it wants to go faster. Poor employees hurt your organization. Poor employees discourage good performers. They cause wasted time and energy. They're hard to manage. I call poor employees anchors. Why? Because they hold the company down. They're a drag on your organization. That is what is at stake when you hire somebody. Hello, I'm Del Gilbert, and welcome to Hire Smart, how to interview, select, and onboard the right people. Most organizations take interviewing far too casually. They have an unfocused and undisciplined approach to the hiring process. My goal in this course is to help you put a system and process in place that will enable you to select excellent team members. Not just candidates with the appropriate knowledge and skills, but the ones who will bring the right behaviors and who will fit well within your organization. Think through the costs of hiring the wrong person. There are direct and indirect costs. Obviously, there's an employee's salary, but an employee's salary is only part of their compensation. There's benefits and paid time off. Other costs include pre-employment physical, orientation, and training. If an employee is terminated, it may create the need for overtime by other staff. That's a substantial cost. If the employee doesn't work out, the company may need to provide unemployment compensation. There's also potential legal costs to a termination. Some other indirect costs to the organization with a mishire might include poor customer service. If the new hire has a poor interaction with one of your customers, it hurts your organization's reputation. Another cost is decreased employee morale. One person can't make a team, but one person can break a team. Hiring the wrong person could affect your credibility as a manager. Other costs include going through the whole interviewing and selection process again. It's been determined that if you hire the wrong person, the cost to the organization is equal to that employee's yearly salary. That's why the approach of let's give them a try and see if they work out isn't a very good strategy. As we begin this course, I want to start with 3 fundamental principles. Number 1, hiring the right person is one of the most important things you can do for your organization. It takes a short time to interview a candidate, but often you live with the consequences for years. That's why it's so important to put the appropriate time, energy, and thought into the process. Principle number 2, hire for attitude, train for skills. There are 2 types of skills, job skills and behavior skills. You can teach job skills, but it's hard to train someone in the qualities like initiative, optimism, dependability, and teamwork. There's a saying in HR circles that people are hired for their technical competency and fired for their interpersonal incompetency. The third foundational principle is this: when interviewing, make the default no. In other words, assume you're not going to hire the candidate unless they can prove they're a quality candidate who will work well with others and help your organization succeed. So many managers hire by using the fog test. If the candidate can breathe on a mirror and the mirror fogs up, they're hired. One of my daughters went for a job interview at a local grocery store when she was in high school. The first interview question and essentially the last interview question was, when can you start? I would call that making the default yes. and that is no way to build a great organization. My goal in this course is to help you build a hiring process that gives you the best chance to make a great hire. Let me give you an overview of this course. The course is divided into 6 chapters: the introduction, preparing for the interview, conducting the interview, assessing and selecting the candidate, onboarding the new employee, and the conclusion. In Chapter 2 on preparing the interview, we'll focus on what should be done before the actual interview. We'll look at the qualities needed in a candidate that go beyond job skills in the lesson on the 3 dimensions of fit. Next, we will discuss creating a position profile. This will help clarify exactly what we're looking for in a candidate. We can also use the position profile to create some interview questions. And the last lesson in Chapter 2 is reviewing the resume. I will review some of the key elements to look for in a resume. Chapter 3 is conducting the interview. In this lesson, we will cover the 4 types of interview questions, best practices in interviewing, the phone screening interview, the interview agenda, and I will also provide you an extra in-depth interview process called the job history interview. I'll also give you some tips and techniques with team interviewing, and the last lesson in Chapter 3, I will cover some illegal interview questions. Chapter 4 is assessing and selecting the candidate. In this chapter, I will share with you a systematic way to gather input and select the candidate. There'll be a lesson on looking for red flags. There'll be a lesson on focusing on the candidate evaluation process, and I'll share some tools and resources with you on that. And then the last lesson in Chapter 4, I will walk you through the very important reference call. In Chapter 5, we will look at onboarding the new employee. It's extremely important that the new team member has a strong start and gets off on the right foot. Lesson 1 in this chapter will focus on orienting and training the new employee. In Lesson 2, I will explain a very helpful strategy and provide you with a very helpful tool called the 30-day check-in. And then finally in Chapter 6, I will give some concluding thoughts and wrap things up with a nice bow. Finally, let me explain a few logistics. Please download the course workbook at the end of this chapter. This course also includes several downloadable resources and built-in quizzes to assess your learning. At the end of the course, I want to encourage you to complete the brief survey. Please share what you liked about the course and any opportunities for improvement. You will also be asked to leave a review. I would appreciate you doing that. And if you complete the entire course, you'll be given a certificate of completion, which you can download and keep electronically or simply print it out. When you hire smart, everybody wins. The new hire wins, you as the supervisor win, other team members win, the customer wins, and the organization wins. Let's get started with Hire Smart, how to interview, select, and onboard the right people.